Let's see. I don't know if we're live yet, but am I live now? Okay, I am live. We're live now. What's up, Jared? What's up? What's up? I actually make sure I can hear myself. Yeah, I can hear myself. Yeah. We're live now. What's up, Jared? What's up? What's up? We're live now. I'm gonna be here for a little bit. I'm gonna be here for about a good 25, 30 minutes. I'm here discussing some stuff. You know, some Steelers stuff. I haven't live streamed since the draft. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I'm gonna try to at least do one once a week like I usually do. So, yeah. But we're just discussing, of course, OTAs. The OTA is gonna be tomorrow, as you guys know, and we also got some stuff about the free agency stuff and some potential trade options as well. The Steelers did go that route, and also we're gonna discuss the Aaron Rodgers stuff as well, Aaron Rodgers update and some other stuff. Anything you want to talk about, you can leave in the comment section down below, in the live chat. Over here, I'm gonna be on here probably to like 2:35, 2:40. I was live streaming yesterday for like almost 5 hours on the live watch party on the second channel. Me and my cousins got the new Genesis. We was watching AEW Double or Nothing on there for 4 hours. Very good show. You know, not a dull moment ever in the show. Like, it's a very good show. Very good show. I'm gonna be there in person though when they come to Texas. That'll be cool. But about to dive into this right now. Let me pull up everything. Discussing, of course, the Steelers. We finally getting some type of things. You know, we've been waiting a long time to at least get something, like, you know, to get some, like, you know, some type of football or something. But now we got OTAs here. OTAs is not football, but at least it's giving us something to see, to look forward to. We can watch some of our, you know, the young talent out there go out there and participate in these activities to see if they, you know, are ready for what's to come and stuff. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But hold real fast. One second real fast. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I am back. But yeah, we're just discussing, of course, OTAs and a lot of different things today. So let me dive into some of that. So starting off first, OTAs. Who I'm looking forward to see the most? That's the first question I have. Who I'm looking forward the most to see in OTAs, the off-season team activities. Of course, Will Howard. Will Howard's name has been very popular around the Steelers fan base. A lot of the Steelers fans, you know, of course, want to see Will Howard go out there and succeed. And it's always good when you have a rookie. Because, like, you know, we've seen, like, when we had Kenny Pickett, even though it didn't work out well, but we've seen how it was when Kenny Pickett was there. And it was exciting to see something new. Like, you just want to see how the young guy go out there because he can either go well or it can go horrible. So I think Will Howard, him being 6'5", him being, you know, 6'5", having a strong arm and doing all the things he can do, it's going to be very cool to see him go out there and make things happen and stuff. I can't wait to see how he looks. He said Rodgers tomorrow. That could possibly happen. Yeah, Rodgers, he signed tomorrow. I know the OTAs start tomorrow. Now, the Steelers want him there for training camp. Training camp won't start until, like, what? Maybe, like, June? Like I think, like, mid-June or something when training camp starts, the mandatory ones. So they probably want him to get signed. It should happen in a few days because there's no other team that want to bring him in. Because the Vikings, they're probably going to roll with J.J. McCarthy. The Saints, he already said he going to go to the Saints, and the Saints already said they're going to roll with what they have. So Rodgers could sign tomorrow. That'd be possible because OTA start, Rodgers join in. I just hope he signed enough time where he can able to get some chemistry with the guys. Cause he still have a good arm. Like, my problem ain't the arm for him. It's just the commitment level of Rodgers, and also, you know, his mobility. But the mobility can be, you know, you can fix that because you have your old line do certain things. You can do certain stuff to protect him in the pocket. But it's really just his commitment because Aaron Rodgers still has the arm talent to get it done. It's just his commitment. He's gonna be committed to playing, you know, with the Steelers, and like committed to buying in with the team chemistry and building up stuff with the receivers. If he is able to do that, he can probably go out there and have a pretty good season. He said he probably doesn't want to go to OTAs. Yeah, he skipped the Jets one the past 2 years, and he skipped the Packers one. I don't think Aaron Rodgers ever played in OTAs I haven't played OTAs in a while, really, because he skipped some of the Packer ones later in his years of the Packers, and then the Jets one, he never went to the OTAs with Jets. But he also skipped mandatory practice with the Jets too as well. So at least as long as he's there for mandatory practice, that's all I care about. Because the OTAs and some of the other stuff are like voluntary. It's like stuff that you don't have to go to if you want to, but if you want to, like, if you're a young player, you got to go. But if you're like an older player, like you've been in the league for a long time, you really don't have to go. But I feel like you're on a new team, you should go to everything, like just to make sure you like get chemistry going with everybody. So it's gonna be interesting to see what Aaron Rodgers does. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Will Howard, Derek Harmon, of course, as well. In the what's the name too, in OTAs, because I think he's gonna be doing some good stuff too. And then Caleb Johnson too. Caleb Johnson gonna be. They do everything right, and they give him the right touches and put him in the right schemes and stuff. He has that power scheme, give him the ball downhill. Because with Najee, they did sometimes, but sometimes they started doing stuff where they had Najee doing a lot of outside stuff, kind of messed them up a little bit. Like Caleb Johnson, the power back, let him run straight through the middle. He said he homaged his style to Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook, a power runner, just running straight downhill. So let him get downhill. To the trade talks for Cousins and Levis, yes, I discussed the trade talks. I was talking about that on the Steelers Syndicate channel. The Kirk Cousins one, they said the Steelers deal fall through with the Rodgers, they probably go after Kirk Cousins. I'm like, nah. Kirk Cousins, maybe if you said Kirk Cousins like 3 or 4 years ago, like the Vikings Kirk Cousins, I'd probably say, you know what, I would accept that. I wouldn't be mad about that. But Kirk Cousins has not been the same. You know, his last year with the Vikings, you see him decline a little bit, but you see he was still able to play at a pretty good level. But he tore his ACL. And then the following year with the Falcons, he just looked horrible. Look at the Charger game. Look at the game he played the Steelers. The first game of the season, the Steelers were just like, they were getting pressure him nonstop. Remember that fumble he had where he fumbled the ball and couldn't get out. He did a wide jump from the other side of the line of scrimmage all the way across to get the fumble recovered and stuff. Kirk Cousins should have easily got that ball back. Even though the fumble happened, he should have easily got that ball back and jumped on it, but he couldn't move like that. You know, you see I got sacked at the end of the game. TJ Watt with the game in the sack. Kirk Cousins couldn't move. He couldn't get the pocket to make that throw down the field to Drake London. He just couldn't move. He couldn't do anything too often. He had one good game though. He hit the 500 yards passing game. He had one of those games in I think on Thursday Night Football. But besides that, Kirk Cousins really was just a statue out there. His completion percentage dropped. His accuracy was down. His mobility was down. Everything was down. It was like, he's not the same Kirk Cousins he once was. He's like 37, 38. Rodgers, coming off Achilles tear, and we seen Rodgers did last year. I know Rodgers, some of his numbers was kind of inflated last year because he had over double passing attempts when trailing than he had with the lead. And like most of his touchdowns came around the fourth quarter. So it's like, some of that stuff was garbage time because the Jets got blown out like 5 times last year. And then they only won 5 games too. So most of that stuff was like garbage time here and there. But Rodgers did have some good stats. When they did have a lead, he had a pretty good passer rating and stuff. So I think with the Steelers, Rodgers will fare better than Kirk Cousins. But Kirk Cousins just can't move. Like he just don't have like the same umph he had. You know, with your Achilles being teared. Of course, he's fully healed now, but it's also still like a mental note in there. It's like when you get injured, y'all gonna have a mental note. Like you hurt your shoulder, your arm, or your foot. Y'all gonna have that mental note like you scared to plant down or scared to do something, and it usually causes you to be a little shaky. But it's gonna be interesting to see. What's that? Well, let's turn this thing on. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens though. Because it's a different ways they can go with it. They can go, of course, and have Rodgers sign with the Steelers tomorrow, and he can join us in OTAs and say I'm committed to play football, or Rodgers could just wait till OTAs is over and say I'm gonna come around mandatory training camp times, go there, be with you guys and see what happens. But I don't know. But I also want to discuss, of course, I already mentioned a little bit of it right now, like the quarterback stuff. Rodgers, I discussed that now. But I seen some crazy stuff. Like Jared Devil said, Will Levis. That one, I keep seeing that one circulate around. That been happening for the past like 2-3 weeks. They keep talking about Will Levis. The Steelers should go out there and trade for Will Levis. They're trying to build you up. I already know they're talking about either Will Levis or Kirk Cousins. They said the Steelers should trade for a quarterback, a young gunning quarterback with a strong arm. I'm like, I know it's Will Levis. They're trying to build it up. And you read the article, it'll be like, Will Levis. I'm like, nah. Will Levis, don't get me wrong, he has a strong arm. His arm is very strong. He can put the ball down the field and stuff, but his decision making, that's the main thing. That's one thing you gotta have a quarterback. You at least have a consistently solid decision making where you're not forcing the ball. Now sometimes you gotta force the ball. Sometimes you gotta go out there and you gotta spend some money to get some money. You gotta take a risk sometimes. Like Big Ben did. Big Ben took some risks and it worked out a lot of times. But he also knew, hey, I'm not gonna take a risk this time, like that. So going out there and knowing what to do. Will Levis I won't say he's horrible because he has talent, but it's like, I don't think anybody want to deal with that right now, especially with the Steelers veterans of the defense getting older. They ain't trying to wait for no guy to develop and try to be better. Like, we need to get guys coming in right now who can go out there and make some things happen. The defense is still Super Bowl caliber defense. You added Darius Slay. You added Derek Harmon now as well with the defense they already have. We already have TJ Watt and all those guys. Alex Highsmith, Herbig. Now you got Jack Sawyer on the edge as well. The defense is loaded. It's just the offense is the question. Like, can they finally step up and keep up with the defense to help us be kind of balanced out so we can make a push in the playoffs? We can get to the playoffs easily. The Steelers get to the playoffs almost every time. It's just winning in the playoffs. So we can finally get to the playoffs and win, and we'll see what happens if the offense can kind of step their game up. They said we do not need the Titans 2024 QB room. We got Mason Rudolph. They have Mason Rudolph, Will Levis. They had somebody else too, I think, that played one game for them. Because it was switching back and forth. I watched some of those games. I was like, it just looked bad. And some of those games, the Titans was winning. Like, you watch the games early on in the season, they'll be up by a touchdown. And that man, Will Levis, do something crazy. He did that one, he like a helicopter spin. He tried to toss the ball and got picked off for pick six. He was just doing stuff. He was just hurting the team. I don't know if he was like betting on the games or something, but he was just hurting the team. He was doing some crazy stuff. So we'll see what happens. But I hope the Steelers do not go that route and bring Will Levis in. Like, Will Levis, don't get me wrong. Like I mentioned, he's cool. I think he got talent, but he got to do a lot of developing. Like, his decision making is like, you can't force everything. You can't try to make a play and play hero ball. Brett Favre tried to do that. Brett Favre, of course, won MVPs. He won a Super Bowl and stuff. But Brett Favre, numbers, his numbers are still a lot of interceptions. But he made up for it with the success he had, of course. But you got to go out there and get the success first. But I think the other one I seen too as well was this crazy one was Dak Prescott. Somebody said the Steelers should trade for Dak Prescott. I was like, first of all, the Cowboys would not even trade Dak Prescott away because that'd be stupid to trade Dak Prescott away when you have CeeDee Lamb and you got George Pickens just now as well. So I doubt that happened. And plus, Dak Prescott contract is way too high for the Steelers to pick up. They're gonna put us in a super bind. I wouldn't mind Dak Prescott. I think he got talent. I think he's a pretty good player. But that's not gonna happen. That's impossible. The only one I wanted to see happen was Kyler Murray. That was one person I did want to see the Steelers looking to. I know Kyler Murray is still with the Cardinals. He's kind of getting older. I think he's 28, 29. He's 29 years old. Not old in real life, but old in football terms, like that. So I think he's getting a little older in football, on the Cardinals, and they only missed the playoffs one time with Kyler Murray, like that. They missed the playoffs a lot. They missed the playoffs one time with him in one season where they lost to the Rams, got blown out in the first round. Besides that, it's been like a lot of missed playoffs. Last year they had opportunity to get in the playoffs, and they kind of collapsed at the end of the season. So I'm wondering if the Cardinals have another lackluster year. Could Kyler Murray be on the trade block? And that'd be interesting. I think I would like that. If we don't get a quarterback in the draft, we'll see. What's up, Gene? What's up? But yeah, I think Kyler Murray would be one quarterback I'd look to be interested in. Like, okay, the Steelers trade for him. I wouldn't be mad about that. I think Kyler Murray is pretty good. If you watch him with the Cardinals just don't know how to build an organization. The organization has been bad ever since they had like Carson Palmer era was all right for them, and then Kurt Warner era was good for them, but they really never had like sustained success for a long period of time. So you can't really judge a person playing for the Cardinals only like, oh, they're not winning any games because it's kind of hard to win over there. The Cardinals are just, the Cardinals like that. So I think Kyler Murray and new scenery would be interesting. I would like him in Pittsburgh. The Steelers can't go out there and get a quarterback next year for the future. I would like Kyler Murray. I think that'd be cool. I think maybe like we stuck in this like quarterback just purgatory. I think the Steelers are complacent with the QB situation due to next year's draft class. Yeah. I feel like the Steelers, that might be the reason they probably didn't want to get anybody long term, because how Justin Fields got a 2-year deal. The Jets got him on a 2-year deal, not too long, but they paid him $40 million for I think $20 million a year on a 2-year deal. And then Russell Wilson, they knew Russell Wilson was going to be there for long term. And then Russell Wilson was just a 1-year type of thing. He had some success. He start, kind of like people start figuring him out a little bit at the end of the season. He kind of collapsed a little bit at the end. Numbers dropped and stuff. But yeah, next year class, they got a lot of people. They got a lot of different quarterbacks. I had to do my due diligence and my research on a lot of the quarterbacks there to kind of break them down and see who I like the most. But we got to find somebody. We just need somebody. Always need one person, because the Steelers really haven't had to develop a quarterback. Because Big Ben was there for 18 years, right? 17, 18 years. So Big Ben was here for a long time. So you really have to go out there and develop a quarterback. You just go out there and just say, hey, we got Big Ben. We just build a team around him and stuff. But once you lose your veteran quarterback, you kind of get to that point where you're like, okay, if you ain't got a plan in place, if you ain't got the 49ers plan when they had Steve Young behind them, or the Packers who are done it perfectly, you go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love, and you still have success and stuff, being smart, knowing when your guy's good, but your guy's slipping, or you see a guy in the draft like, this guy right here is very good, I can't pass upon him. My quarterback might be mad because I'm drafting the guy in the first round, but I'm going to have to get this guy. like the Chiefs did. Alex Smith got them to the playoffs many times, and just couldn't get past that. You knew he wasn't gonna win a Super Bowl with Alex Smith, but you get to the playoffs and stay competitive. They saw Mahomes. They traded up all the way up to get Mahomes, and hey, 3 Super Bowls later, 3 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs, all the stuff later, and they got a lot of success. So the Steelers probably should have did that years back when Big Ben was still playing. When Big Ben was, it was that year, one year before he got injured, I think, or maybe the year he did get injured. That year with Antonio Brown, his last season playing at that Saints game where the Steelers lost and Juju fumbled the ball away and the Steelers lost to the Saints, which was a crazy game still because that Alvin Kamara pass interference they call on Joe Hayden was bad. Because he didn't even touch. He patted him on the back like that, a touch. Went up for the ball and they called pass interference, but that was a crazy one right there. But after that game, I thought the Steelers team window closed for the Super Bowl. After that game, we lost, and then we missed the playoffs because we won the next game against the Bengals. We missed the playoffs because the Browns lost to the Ravens. Ravens got in, and then I feel like that year should have been the year the Steelers went out there and drafted a quarterback. Jalen Hurts was a guy who they passed upon. That was actually the following year, I think Lamar Jackson was in that draft class. We passed on Lamar Jackson and took Terrell Edmonds. You should have took Lamar Jackson. He was a Heisman Trophy winner, even if you didn't think his arm was the best. Which is when now we know his arm is pretty good. He led the league in completion percentage. He was passer rating last year. Yeah, he was doing a very good job. Threw 41 touchdowns. So now you know his arm is pretty good. But the Steelers should have went out there and drafted a quarterback early on just to see what happens. And then the following year after, they went and got Chase Claypool, who's not on the team anymore. Jalen Hurts. I thought they were going to actually draft him because Coach Tomlin was talking about Jalen Hurts a lot. He was raving about Jalen Hurts. He was saying all the stuff about Jalen Hurts, saying Jalen Hurts is amazing. And then he went out there and drafted Chase Claypool. And Chase was good his first year. His first year was good. Second year was all right. But he just couldn't get out of his own head, and a lot of mistakes and different things was happening, and now he's not on the team anymore. So the Steelers had opportunity after opportunity to take a quarterback high in the draft, and they missed out on different guys. I think that's kind of hurting them now. Even though we got a good coaching, Coach Tomlin can get us to the playoffs. We know our defense can get us there, but we can't get, they're kind of stuck in that middle place. Like, dang, we don't win enough games. We're going to win like 10, 11 games this year, and we get to the playoffs. We might win a playoff game, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get to the promised land. We don't have a Josh Allen. We don't have a Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow. So it's going to be kind of difficult. Sometimes you can do it without those guys if you're lucky, but you don't really get lucky too often in sports. See, but Ben was there before Tomlin, so I'm not convinced he can draft a franchise quarterback. It's not like he hasn't had time to do it. Yep, that's true. Yeah, Coach Tomlin he probably never focused on that because it's like he already had a quarterback coming in, so he never had to really go out there and say, let me find a guy who I like. And he never really, the only one he really drafted was Mason Rudolph. And then Kenny Pickett, we knew Kenny Pickett was a reach. That was a reach for sure. They could have got him probably 3rd or 4th round, really. But Mason Rudolph was the only one they drafted. They really didn't do a good job in developing him. He probably could have been out there and had more success. But Big Ben, they said he didn't treat him right because he was a little mad that they took him and stuff like that in the 3rd round and stuff. But they developed Mason Rudolph a lot more. Because we seen the first year Mason Rudolph played. He looked pretty good, but I feel like his confidence was kind of shot at certain times in the season. And then the Steelers never really managed it correctly. He's back on the team now, of course, but I feel like they did a little bad job of not developing Mason Rudolph to his full potential. So, interesting. What's up, Toddy? What's up? Yeah, but it's gonna be crazy to see what happens. I don't know when we'll get a quarterback. It could be next year's draft, or maybe Will Howard might emerge as the quarterback. You never know. Will Howard could go out there, emerge as a quarterback, be QB1, go crazy. We've seen crazy things happen before. All it takes is one chance. You get one shot, go out there, and you play real good. And that'd be good for us. That'd be a blessing in disguise. But I don't know. I don't know what the Steelers are going to do at quarterback. That's been the question ever since Big Ben retired. Been the question for, even before Big Ben retired, people was like, the Steelers hold on to Big Ben a little too long. They're like, nah, we good. We're going to go out there and see what happens. I feel like that one year we went 11-0 to start the season off. I feel like that was our year. That was our year to win the Super Bowl. But the Steelers started messing up. Started messing some things up. And, yeah, that right there was kind of got us where we at now. So we got to see. We got to see. I don't know what they're going to do, but we got to see what happens. I know some free agents still out there, though. I want to discuss that, too, some free agents. Like I mentioned, I think I made a video about that last week, talking about Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Tyler Boyd. One of those guys. Most likely, I would prefer, I think, Amari Cooper. I think that might be the most likely one to happen, depending on the situation, because I think Amari Cooper as receiver 2 would be nice. I know last year with the Bills, he didn't have the best year, but he was playing receiver 1. They got traded half point of the season, and also he was a little injured, a little banged up. But now in the receiver 2 role, I think playing next to DK Metcalf, that can work out well. And Calvin Austin, he stepped up before. He probably could step up again, maybe take that 548 yards and move it up to like 600 or 700 yards, and that'd be good for the team. But I feel like the more weapons, the better for any quarterback who's coming here, whether it's Rodgers or Mason Rudolph playing or Will Howard. The more weapons, the better for them, especially with the defense we have. I think it'd be better in that sense to go out there and bring another guy in. So we'll see if they bring a guy in like that. Justin Simmons will be interesting too as well. Might could bring him in too for safety. It said, how many people thought Sam Darnold would play like he did? So Mason may have the type of season. That is true, Byron. That's true. Because Sam Darnold, I did not expect that. I was hating too beginning of the season. I remember I mentioned that. I said the Vikings got Sam Darnold. I said I probably have them in. I'm gonna say like 9 wins. I said like last year before the season started. I said I'm gonna have like 8, 9 wins because I can't trust Sam Darnold the whole time. But Sam Darnold went out there and played lights out. I mean, you have different coaching sometimes, different atmospheres. The Jets is a horrible atmosphere. You see, they said the owner was using his son using Madden ratings to sign players. Like, what kind of organization you're running over there? You have your son using Madden ratings to know whether a player is good or not. So the Jets were like just a bad organization. So he was with the Jets. The Panthers, they're not too good either in the organization either. And then he went to, of course, the Vikings, the 49ers, and you see him play a little bit the 49ers. You're like, okay, he looked a little better. And then he went here to the Vikings, and he played real good. So never know. That could happen. Mason Rudolph could go out there. If Mason Rudolph go out there and have a season like Sam Darnold, Mason Rudolph plays the entire year, he throws for 4,000 yards, maybe a little bit over 4,038 yards, 27 touchdowns to like 8 interceptions. You can live with that. You can definitely win with that for sure. That would be very good if you go out there and do that because Sam Darnold kind of played freely. I feel like the Vikings, you see him play, he have any like confidence issues. He went out there and just played freely and delivered the ball well down the field. Found his guys, and especially having weapons like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. Hockenson was gone most of the year, but he came back later down the line. So having those guys was good. So the Steelers got DK Metcalf. You got Pat Freiermuth, who I feel like it could be even better. Pat Freiermuth got to just stay consistent throughout the whole entire year. Because I think Muth be playing real good at times. And sometimes he have times where he like disappear. I feel like he stay consistent throughout the whole year and play physical. He be playing soft sometimes. Play physical, play aggressive, and go out there and make plays and stuff. Use your big body. Because we've seen him do it in rookie season. He had the most touchdowns in rookie season. Big Ben was just throwing the ball up to him. And then we've seen in year 2, he had 700 yards. And then he kind of fell off in year 3. The injuries happened. In year 4, he kind of played better and stuff as well after he got extended from his contract. But I think Muth can definitely be up there putting up 800 yards a season, 800 yards and 8 touchdowns every year if he just go out there and stay aggressive. I feel like he can go out there and do that. And then Darnell Washington, they utilized him a little bit more last year, but I need to see him get more opportunities. I feel like if the Steelers utilize all the pieces they have out there, they could definitely be big time on offense, at least solid enough, like at least average 24, 25 points per game. Because last year we only averaged, I think, 22-ish points a game. And the year before that, we averaged, 16 points per game? That was crazy. We averaged 16 points. We allowed 18 points, which is crazy. And the Steelers still made the playoffs with 3 different quarterbacks. People keep saying the Steelers gonna miss the playoffs and gonna be 6-11 and stuff like that. That ain't gonna happen. The Steelers made the playoffs with 3 different quarterbacks. That one year when they had Mason, Mitch, and Kenny. The following year they made the playoffs with 2 different quarterbacks when they had Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. So this year, I feel like they have enough talent to get it done, to get to the playoffs. But the question is not getting to the playoffs. The question is, can you win once you're in the playoffs? And that's a question that we have to answer. And so, a ruling, Tomlin provide Rodgers with hundreds of aquariums filled with. They might need to do that. Psychedelic Rodgers. They might need to do that. You know, Rodgers don't need everything he can get. You know, he should take Percocets and mushrooms after the games or during the games. I don't know if that's illegal or not during the game. That's not, I don't think it's a performance enhancer, but Rodgers will do something. He said Rodgers will be allowed 1 gallon of LSD a week. They gotta give him something. As long as he plays well, he can have anything. We can give him everything. Give him something like that. Put some mushrooms in his Gatorade or something. I don't know what he gotta do. But I think Rodgers' arm is good enough to get it done. The Steelers can protect him. If he's committed, that's the main thing. If he's committed to playing and like locking in and saying, you know what? I don't want the Jets to be my last stamp in my career. I don't want to go out there and be able to lose it. Because Tom Brady went to the Bucs. I know his last season they lost in the first round of the playoffs, but he won a Super Bowl with the Bucs. Brady was super invested. He went to the Bucs. He went to OTAs. He was training with the rookies. He was doing all types of things. He was at training camp, the mandatory ones, the voluntary ones as well. Brady was everywhere. He was playing like that, and they won a Super Bowl their first year because he was very invested. They're like, this guy right here is a 6-time Super Bowl champion. One of the best quarterback of all time. He's out here hustling, and he's over here running to meetings, being there early, doing everything. So it kind of like motivated the whole team. Like, a guy of that caliber is doing all that. Why am I doing that too? So if Aaron Rodgers had that commitment like that, it can motivate the team, get everybody behind them, and get everything going. But I don't know if he has that commitment. We got to see. We got to see. So don't forget about Donald Horn Jr., the big target too. Oh yeah, that's the one from the that's the one from the Chargers. There's the one from the Chargers. That 6'7" guy, right? That's the one for the Chargers. Yeah, that's the one for the Chargers. Yeah, he's 6'8". Yeah, 6'8", 237. I think he had 285 yards last year, 10 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. Yeah, that'd be nice too. The Steelers could run a 3 tight end set. Because I think Arthur Smith loved running the football. He loved using his tight ends a lot. We've seen what he do with the Titans. He used to use Jonas Smith a lot. Like that, but Jonas Smith had that 4-3 speed, so he was able to use him in sweeps and all type of things. And then we got to the Falcons and running his whole team. He was using all those tight ends. Now Kyle Pitts, I think Kyle Pitts is a little smaller in stature a little bit, even though he's tall and stuff. But he's not the biggest tight end. He's not known to block as much. So he didn't really utilize Kyle Pitts the way he should have used them his whole time. But he was utilizing the tight end sets and different running backs and stuff. I'm just hoping he utilized Caleb Johnson the right way, because Caleb Johnson, he could be our Derrick Henry. You never know. He could be our Derrick Henry. Go out there and play real good. So Meatball Hayward to the practice squad. Yeah. Hayward, I think he labeled a fullback, tight end, receiver, hybrid, wherever he is. But Hayward, he has some moments here and there, but he don't really get utilized a lot. Like that, I don't know, because he's a little slower in a sense, of like moving and stuff like that. Not that quick. His route running not the best, but I do like him on special teams, and also in some gadget plays. You know, you never know. Maybe 4th and 1, give him a little dump off or something, and let him go in. The Steelers stopped using fullbacks for some reason. I don't know why. When we had Roosevelt Nix as our fullback, we used to run the ball well, like having a fullback lead the charge as a lead blocker, kind of like how the 49ers do with Kyle Juszczyk and all different guys like the Ravens do as well. I think the Chiefs got the Sherman and stuff like that, like utilizing the fullback as your lead blocker. We used to do a good job in doing that. But the Steelers, for some reason, they stopped doing that now. Now it's like a little different style. I don't know, maybe because the offensive coordinator changed, but I used to love when you use the fullback. Roosevelt Nix was nice, like utilizing him to go out there. Derek Wyatt, he was all right, but Roosevelt Nix was the guy. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler with the Steelers. He was doing everything. He was going out there blocking well, get some passes in the backfield if he had to as well. I remember we caught the touchdown. I think it was against the Panthers. We caught the touchdown over somebody and like belly flopped on him and stuff. So Roosevelt Nix was nice. I like that. So the Steelers should maybe utilize that a little bit more. Have Darnell Washington in the backfield as the lead blocker, and you go behind him. That'd be good. The Steelers have nearly as many tight ends as Cleveland has quarterbacks. Yes. Because you got Farman, of course. You got Pat, Darnell Washington, Connor Hayward. It's another guy they signed too, I think. They got 5 tight ends, 5 or 6. There's some guys who they just picked up. So we'll see who make the team. So the Browns are trying to collect the 6 Infinity QBs. Yep. They got to choose somebody, though, because they probably keep both rookies and then choose one vet. And most likely going to be Joe Flacco. I think Joe Flacco. Right now, they said, like, they're showing like the reports. They said Shedeur Sanders is playing amongst the best out of the 2 rookies. We've seen Dylan Gabriel. He was throwing a lot of picks in practice. He was throwing a lot of picks. Dylan Gabriel was, I don't know why they drafted him in the 3rd round. Now, like, there's no way you draft Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders. That was crazy. Dylan Gabriel he's all right, but he's not like that. He's like 5'10". He's basically like Tua, but lesser talented. A lesser talented Tua, basically, in a sense. His play style a little bit. But they went out there and drafted him, and so far in practice, he hasn't been playing too good. Shedeur Sanders been playing, they said, pretty well. Like, they've been raving about him. And the team already know who's the better quarterback. You see the players, like when Dylan Gabriel got drafted, nobody tweeted anything or said anything about it. Shedeur got drafted, you see Denzel Ward, you see the Myles Garrett, you see all the different guys tweeting and saying, let's go, let's get it. They know who the better quarterback is. They know exactly what's happening and stuff as well, too. So, like, Dylan Gabriel was a waste of a draft pick, but that's the Browns for you. Drafting the quarterback. Like Dylan Gabriel, who should be a 6th-round pick, 7th-round pick, you drafted him in the 3rd round. That's the Browns for you. That's the Browns. They cut Hayward. Hayward might get cut if he get beat out. We know Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington are going to be the 2 guys that make it, of course. And then Parham, he's 6'8", 237. We seen him have success in receiving game last year with the Chargers, 27 catches, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns. Big target in the red zone too. They utilize him. He might be the 3rd guy. Then you're looking at like Hayward, you're going to be labeled maybe the fullback, maybe. They utilize him in that aspect. But as a tight end, I don't think he'll make the roster as a tight end. He might be a fullback or something. So he could be practice squad or he could be cut. He definitely get picked up by somebody else, but I don't know if he's going to be a tight end. So the Browns going to cut Flacco. Probably not. I think Flacco should stay. If the Browns smart, Flacco will stay. Flacco gave you your best year in years since Baker Mayfield left. Flacco got you all the way to the playoffs. They fell short in the playoffs, of course, to the Texans when they got blown out in the wild card round. But Flacco got you all the way to the playoffs. He was playing pretty good. He played freely. He's like, hey, I got nothing to lose, you know. I'm just out here playing for fun. And he went out there and handled business. I think Flacco is a better thrower of football than Kenny Pickett is. And also veteran presence he have, being a Super Bowl MVP as well. The playoff success he has as well. And then him being with the Browns last time having success. So I think Flacco will probably be the guy. Kenny Pickett might get cut. Even though they traded for Kenny Pickett, I think he might get cut. And he probably get picked up by somebody, somebody else. If Pickett would have just stayed in Pittsburgh, he probably had an opportunity to at least play. Because Russell Wilson missed the first 6 games. You could have played the first 6 games. Because Justin Fields would have never got traded here if the Steelers had Kenny Pickett still. They probably just said, okay, we got Russell Wilson, Kenny Pickett, we'll see how things go. But he decided he wanted to get traded away. Because even though Russell Wilson got injured, he would play the first 6 games. He would probably still be on the team next year as well to see what things kind of happen. But he decided he wanted to go. You trade away, go to the Eagles, play behind Jalen Hurts. You're not going to play unless Jalen Hurts get injured. He got injured one game against the Commanders. We got concussion and came out the game. You play a little bit there. You won a Super Bowl, but, it's kind of like what Keon Martin said to Nick Young. He said, they brought you to the table to watch everybody else eat. The type of ring you got. So he won a Super Bowl. So he was there, but he wasn't eating any food. He was just there watching everybody. Like, yeah. So you got a Super Bowl, of course. Basically, Jimmy Garoppolo Patriots ring. That's what you got. And you got some of those, but now I don't know what happened to Kenny Pickett. I don't know if he's gonna have an opportunity somewhere. Maybe trying to see. Actually, I don't know what team really he can really go to like get a chance to play. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. He might be out. He might just have to wait. Kind of like Mr. Trubisky did a little bit with the Bears. After he left, he went to the Bills a few years and waited till opportunity came. And Steelers said, you know what, we give him a chance. And then it didn't work out well with there. And I don't know what Mr. Trubisky is now. I have no idea. The Steel Unibrow. The Browns Super Bowl winning QB1 Kenny Pickett. Hasn't Lenny requested a trade yet? Who's Lenny? Who's Lenny? Let me see. I seen one thing. It was somebody that the Browns trying to get. It was some running back. I think it was Breece Hall. I think Breece Hall was a running back the Browns trying to get. The Steelers, I know it was one rumor that the Steelers could try to bring in. Oh, Lenny. Oh, Kenny Pickett is Lenny. All them L's to take. Okay, I got it now. Trubisky back on the Bills. Dan Marino doesn't have a Super Bowl ring, so I guess he started deaf. Yeah, but at least Marino he might not be a champion, but he have the essence of a champion. If Marino played in this era, he would have like 5 rings probably. He played in a tough era. He had some great numbers, MVPs, win the Super Bowl, but the Dolphins, he just can't get it done with the Dolphins. Maybe he left the Dolphins and went somewhere else. In his prime, he might have got it done. But in the old days, you really couldn't leave a lot. Certain teams. It's kind of like basketball too. Now the players can just say, "Hey, I want to leave. I want to request a trade," and you just choose where you want to go. I think nowadays they have more options where you're able to do certain things and stuff. You see a player, they do it every time. They'd be like on social media, they'll say, "Oh, he unfollowed the team. He's mad." Then they'll pay them. Well, okay, here you go. He's followed the team back. I'm like, I don't know what they be doing. They be doing random stuff. Yeah, if the Steelers would have drafted Dan Marino, and he played the way he played, he might have matched Bradshaw. he might have won 4. He would have played. It would have been very good. There, Dan Marino was amazing. He just got, they passed upon him. I guess the Steelers thought they saw Dan Marino and Kenny Pickett. Like, we had a Pittsburgh quarterback we passed on before. They tried to bring in Kenny Pickett, but nah, he's not the same talent. Kenny Pickett only had one good season in the NFL. In college football. That was the last year he had. He threw 40 touchdowns. You look at the other years, he really didn't play like super well. It was kind of like here and there, type of stuff, hit and miss type of seasons. And then you look at the last year, he had a pretty good season and stuff. And then the Steelers said, okay, 1 year is good for us. I'm like, nah, I don't know about that. Marino said if he had left the Dolphins, he would have had a few rings. Yes. If he would have left the Dolphins in the midst of his prime, he would have won about at least 2 or 3 rings. Like, went to a team that actually wanted to build around, it would have been nice. The Steelers passed on Marino because he was snorting everything, snorting everything inside. I think most of the players in the in the 80s was snorting everything, especially Lawrence Taylor, LT. I watched that documentary on LT. It said he used to keep packs of cocaine in his socks. They say he used to do it during the games and stuff. I'm like, okay. That's how he was playing like that. He's already 6'4", 6'5", and a relentless force, destroying the offensive line up. If they go and get these new offensive linemen to be able to block him and stuff. And he's on crack too? Oh, nah. He's going out there playing tremendous. I know Joe Namath was definitely doing it. Joe Namath was doing everything. He was the first quarterback who was a pimp. Joe Namath. They was doing everything. I seen his documentary too. He was doing everything. That made LT a superhuman. Yes, LT was on Bane from Batman injecting himself with that little serum. That's what Crack did to LT. He was going out there playing tremendous football. He's the only defensive player to ever win MVP as well. So he was dominating. They always had a debate too as well, who's the best NFL player ever. It's kind of hard to do that because it's offense and defense. But LT might be the best player ever. I like him. You got Tom Brady's, of course. But that gotta be up there for sure. Now defensively, it's a lot of people because Steelers got a lot of defensive guys too. You look at one of the greatest of all time. You was Mean Joe Green, Rod Woodson. I know some people have Deion Sanders on the list. Rod Woodson and Deion Sanders is always a debate. Now, Deion Sanders is cool, but Rod Woodson was a better tackler. He had a lot more forced fumbles and those hits and stuff like that as well. So that's a good debate too. I might do a debate on that one day too as well. I'm gonna start doing player debates. I seen what happened last time. They had that little debate. It was debating Asante Samuel Sr., who's a good player, with Deion Sanders. I'm like, come on, guys. I'm like, Deion Sanders is on a different level. Asante Samuel was very good, but come on, you can't debate that. They had some type of altercation or something that happened on the internet or something, and Asante Samuel was saying that he was better than Deion. I was like, I don't know about that. You remember Tim Rock Reigns? It's a prototype super soldier serum. Abdul Carter asking for his jersey number. Yeah, that was crazy. You can't ask I'm glad Lawrence Taylor said no. Make your own legacy. You asking for Lawrence Taylor jersey. I guess he didn't know what it represented or something. I don't know. He said he did it out of respect, but come on, make your own legacy. Get another number. Make your own legacy. I know you say he asked for Michael Parsons 11 when he went to Penn State, but that's college. College is different than the NFL. Lawrence Taylor, I'm like, you can't go out there and ask for his number. I'm like, get a different number. Get something like somebody coming to Pittsburgh, be like, hey, Palomalu, can I have number 43? No, you cannot. You can't wear 43. You can't wear 7. You can't wear any of those numbers. I'm like, you can find a different number. Maybe wear 44 or something. Said Broadway Joe still thought he was a pimp on Monday night game. Yeah, that's what happened. That's how I got that lawsuit from. Man, Joe Namath was doing some crazy stuff. He said something like, I'll kiss you right now or something. I was like, yeah, Joe Namath, you're out of there. Yeah. He was tripping. But yeah, basically all the news I have for today. Just discussing that. Something Samuel Jr., I think he's still a free agent, right? I know somebody said that the Steelers should probably go after him. That'd be interesting. I feel like the Steelers did get a Asante Samuel Jr. You bring him in, you got to ask Darius Slay, do you want to play safety? I think he could play safety. Because, I don't think Darius Slay want to come off the bench, or rotate in and out like that at this stage of his career. But that'd be interesting. Asante Samuel Jr., I think it would be a nice pickup. I think he's still a free agent. I don't know why it's been taking so long for him to get picked up, but he's still out there. The Range was a great baseball player from Stone. Ton of bases. He always slid head first. So the cocaine, he wouldn't fall out. That's funny. And the players in the old days, they did anything they want. They had social. I think the NFL might be shut down. They had social media back then in the 80s. The NFL, the MLB, NBA. It'll been shut down. Magic Johnson shut down. Lawrence Taylor shut down. Joe Namath shut down. It shut down a lot of stuff because those guys were doing some crazy stuff. So it would have been shut down. They had social media back then. They were documenting the stuff and tweeting and doing things. Shaq would have been shut down too. He almost getting shut down now sometimes, but Shaq would have been shut down too. I think a lot of players probably happy they didn't have social media back then. That would have been crazy. Jadell Strawberry has a coke head. Yeah, but this is all I have today. I'll probably be back on probably Wednesday. Probably Wednesday, maybe around like probably nighttime, like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, around that time. So I'll probably see you guys again probably on Wednesday. Because OTAs, I think Tuesday is OTA's first day. Or I could be actually maybe tomorrow, because OTAs is the first day tomorrow. So I'll probably do a video talking about that, reviewing to some clips or something, or talking about different like interviews, reports, or who were out there talking. I think Nick Faribault, he always out there. He'd be talking to the players and stuff, giving interviews and reports for them. So I'll probably do a video tomorrow, go live tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. But this is all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, I don't know what OTAs usually end. I think it ends around like what, 2 or 3, 2, 3, 4 right time. So I'll probably see you guys maybe around like 5 or 6 or something. Just be on the lookout for that. Look out for that. So hopefully they'll sign receiver 2 by then. Yes, hopefully they do sign receiver 2. Amari Cooper still out there. Keenan Allen still out there. Tyler Boyd, bring somebody in. I think Amari Cooper be the best person to bring in. His receiver, I think his own route running and stuff is good. He's I believe he's 31, 32. He ain't got to go out there and be the number 1 guy. He can be number 2. He can be Robin to DK Metcalf. I think it'd be good. We need a receiver 2 out there. Kevin Austin, cool, but I think Kevin Austin fit better in that gadget role, just having him go out there and, go down the field at times and stuff, getting handoffs and stuff, and like find them in different spaces. I don't know if he can emerge to be like a Tyler Lockett type, where he can go out there and route run and get open and create stuff in space. He could, but I don't know if he can do that right now. So get a receiver 2. Let Kevin Austin be receiver 3. And Roman Wilson, please play. Please, we just see you out there playing and see what you're going to do and see if you can, become the guy you want to become. But yeah, this is all I have. This is all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.